Look at this dynamic pattern, which seems to be going from left to right. Now, in the previous video, we saw the pattern based on left shift, which was going from right to left. In this video, we'll see how we can just modify that just a little bit to become like a right shifting pattern, like the way we are seeing it here. We are, of course, building the bit by bit project from the YByte Python curriculum available at www.ybyte.in. We have seen previously how these dynamic patterns are built. Let's build on that further. Idea now is kind of just the reverse of what we were doing earlier. We'll start with a pattern which lights up, let's say, the leftmost two bits, two LEDs, and then we'll keep going right with a right shift. Not hard to do this in our code. So I come into my code over here and I create a new style. So I just go and say, well, look, if style is equal to, let's say, 2, then the pattern that I'll start with would be 0B11000000. And of course, I must have a code to sort of update the pattern. So I come in here and I just create, let's say, one more such condition. So Control C, and of course, I can just do Control V. If style is equal to 2, then I just go and say, well, look, shift my pattern right by, let's say, 2 bits. And of course, if the pattern becomes equal to 0, which means that, I've just gone like too much to the right, all the bits are off, I will just reset it back to 1, 1, say all zeros. Of course, I must set my style to say to 2 over here. So I just go and set the style to 2. Now, when we run this piece of code, exactly what we thought should happen is happening. So I see that the first 2 bits light up and then I keep going to the right side, barring, at the very end, I bring this back to the left. And this is pretty much all we need. In fact, now we can experiment a little bit. So I can say that, look, instead of shifting, let's say by, by 2, I could perhaps shift by, let's say, 1. And now this code, notice there's a little bit of an overlap, but it's still doing the same thing. The ending condition looks a little bit different because remember we are setting it to 0, which means that there's a brief moment where just one bit is lit up, but that's perfectly fine. It looks quite okay in the whole scheme of things. We can try one more pattern here. Let's say I go and try, well, look, I want the initial pattern to be, let's say, 101. Followed by zeros, and again here I'm say shifting by, let's say, let's just do by, let's say, when I run this piece of code, it's pretty cool, looks quite nice. The ending looks a little bit different, but that's also fine. Of course, the reset pattern has also been made 101 followed by all zeros, which is what is logical here. So basically, you can play with this, get many types of patterns. You can actually start mixing them up. You can start with a certain pattern, then go to a new one, and so on. Lots of possibilities are coming up, in fact, over here. I hope you found this interesting. In general, if you think this way of learning where we apply concepts, see them in action, helps you understand better, well, look at our website www.ybyte.in, because that is how we learn Python programming at YByte. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.